record. Yeah. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, digital communicators members who are here today to learn about the live reporter role in our club, yeah, how it works. This is an amazing role if you really want to learn and you want to develop many different skills, yeah? You may think, oh, that's really tough, you have to do a lot of work, but you have to do little things in small steps, and you're going to develop many different skills, I can tell you. Oral and written communication is developed, impromptu and prepared speeches, social media engaging skills, digital skills to support and reinforce our messages. So that's everything that we're going to find in our live report. Okay, but let's get started. What does it really involve? Yeah, before I go on, just feel free if you want to ask, you can share in the chat if you have any questions. Yeah, maybe we can go step by step, as you can see. But of course, just feel free to stop me at some point. Mark, can you clarify this, or can you tell us a little bit more about it? Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready? Yeah, there we go. Vincent, you are very serious. I don't know if you're very concentrated and focused. But
I'm just trying to listen carefully. Huh?
I know. I was like, wow.
I'm the R counter.
Okay, good to know then. Okay, let's get started then. So what's the first step? As a live reporter, the first thing we do is to cover live, yeah, so live coverage on Twitter. This is the first thing, yeah. It actually happens before the meeting. During the meeting, that's where most of our work will be taking place. And if you want, that's extra, but after the meeting, there's also a possibility, and we'll see how, yeah? If we think about before the meeting, what we do is, hey, we want to engage members, we want to engage other people, the public, the wider audience, and we want to do it via Twitter. We want to tell them, hey, this day, this Monday, we are having our next meeting. And if you have the theme of the day, we already have the theme of the day, we can share the theme of the day, for example, but raise some curiosity and interest among the audience. This is why we start sending or tweeting a little bit before, or a few days, and then the same day we just remember the audience that they will be able to attend and join us in the club. Yeah, so that's the first thing. During the meeting, as I said before, that's where the hard work really starts, yeah? It's all about active listening. It's all about capturing memorable moments in the meeting. So let's go little by little, yeah? So our Twitter account for the club, there it is, yeah, here, at the communicators, okay? That's our account. And what's the goal about tweeting, yeah? So as I said, we want to capture the highlights of the meeting. We can make reference to the theme of the day, the word of the day, the speakers, the titles. If we prepare in advance, this is something that I recommend. What I usually do, you can also speak to other people who have taken this role. But if you want to prepare in advance, that's going to be really helpful. I take the agenda, for instance, and I see everybody's roles there. So I have everybody's names ready, so I can copy and I know the names exactly. And I can also add the titles of the speeches, for instance, and I can have that information ready. Yeah. We can also share about, of course, speech evaluators, food for thought, recommendations that they give, or anything else that you think that can bring value to the audience and on social media, let's say. So that's the goal, yeah? What are the Twitter essentials? So we want to make an impact. right? So that's the idea, that we make an impact and we share with the wider world what we are doing in digital communicators and what we are good at. And for that, we're going to be using visuals. And we'll see now our digital communicators account, yeah. And for that, we can take screenshots. When we are during the meeting, we can be taking screenshots of what's going on. You can select if you want, you know, like the speaker's view, or we want everybody, you know, on the screen. But then this is one of the things that we need to be doing during the meeting. And just also, this is something that I really like. I like to be very careful when I choose my pictures, because sometimes people are not that smiley, or yeah. So if we try to capture some gestures, specific gestures, or when the person is smiling or something like that, better. So we want to give also, you know, we want to be respectful with people, so to take their best shot, their best moment. and that's very, I think that's very important to bear in mind. Yeah, so we can take the best of everyone. And the second thing is about the text. When we tweet, yeah, remember we have only a short amount of characters there. And what are we going to add? So we highlight whatever it is we want to highlight, yeah. Our table topics master today, Vincent, did an amazing job sharing awesome visuals, awesome images that raised or inspired us to speak, yeah. So that could be an example. And apart from that, we need to add the hashtags. We need to, we have some hashtags already, minimum. Yeah, we can fit these 3 hashtags here. So DCOM Live, DCOM Toastmasters, so DCOM TMS and Toastmasters. Yeah, so these are the 3 hashtags that we are using when doing the live reporter. If you feel that you want to use more hashtags and the characters and the length of the tweet allows it, go for it, yeah. What else? We can tag people as well. If we are mentioning, for example, Colette, and Colette has a Twitter account, we can tag her and say, oh, our grammarian, our stupendous grammarian, Colette, yeah. And then you can tag her, and she will receive, and she will see that her name is there. It's also, I think that we can be mindful as well about, you know, how much people want to share or not, but it's also a good way to be visible, to make people visible, yeah? I don't know in your professional areas or fields, but if you feel that you're doing a great job at digital communicators and you want to promote yourself and others, if you tag the person, they will appear there, yeah? It's like, oh, look, Audrey is there. Oh, look what Audrey is doing. Yeah, wow, amazing. Or Philip is there, and look, okay. So that's something else. And the fonts. I'm going to share, and this is not a secret, but almost, yeah. You see that there are different types of, well, on Twitter, Vincent, I've just seen your question. I will reply to it, yeah. But thank you, we'll keep them there for. So I'm going to share here in the chat. Yeah, this is fonts converter, yeah. So maybe what we can do is we can get into Digital Communicators Twitter account. Yeah, and we'll see that can be used to change the fonts of some words, to highlight, and we want a word to be very remarkable, yeah, stupendous, and we wanted to highlight it with a different type of font. You can use this website that I shared, this resource, to do that, yeah. And I think that also can give more visibility, and people go like, oops, look at this looks cool, and that word is really important, or, you know, to keep in mind. So that's something else that I wanted to share. Let me see if I have something else about Twitter, and if not, we go and into the Digital Communicators account. Yeah, I think that that's all for Twitter. So we're going to, yeah, to come back here, and then I would like you Pamela is entering. I would like you to go to your Twitter accounts or to Twitter, yeah, if you want. And I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Can you see it? Yeah, hi, Pamela. Glad to see you. We're just talking about Twitter, yeah? Okay, so once we are here in the login, we need to have our Digital Communicators username. Yeah, and then we put it there, and we need the password. I will be sharing this in a moment in the chat as well. Okay, so we have username and password. Okay, oops. Oh, here. Okay, so I'm going to enter now, and I'm going to share these credentials with you. I will talk about the tags now as well, Colette. Yeah, hashtags and tags. Okay. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, this is Digital Communicators account, and we are logged now as Digital Communicators. Can you see my screen, or shall I make it maybe bigger like this? You can unmute yourselves, yeah, and say if you want. Okay, there. Let's check the notifications, for instance. Yeah, here we can see people who are following the activity that is going on. Yeah, here. Now we want to tweet. That's what we want to do. We want to tweet something. So here we are. Yeah, and this could be, I don't know, tonight or today we are enjoying well, live reporter role training. Okay. Now, can you remember what else could we add apart from the text?
Hashtag.
Hashtags.
Hashtags. Okay. Can you remember what hashtags did we mention?
DCOM live.
Come live.
Okay, the hashtags that we are here, DCOM live.
Hashtag
What else?
Toastmasters.
And which other one?
Hashtag training.
Oh, hashtag training. That could be an extra one. Okay.
Hashtag DCOM TMS.
Okay, so let's put it here at the front, for instance. Hashtag DCOM TMS. Okay, so we have at least these 3 hashtags and then the extra ones, yeah, like training. Ola, I don't know if it was you who mentioned the training. Maybe?
Yes, I did.
Yes, yeah, I identify your voice, yeah. Okay, so we can put it here, we can use the hashtag here in training. If it was a longer tweet and we had many, many words, maybe it would be, yeah, nicer to remove this one and use the hashtag here, okay? Now, what else did we say that we can do or we can add in our tweet?
Change
Can
the
tag
fonts.
people.
Tagging people, yeah. For instance, members, and today we can have here Colette, yeah. As you can see, we have here already names of people who are following, yeah, and who follow each other. In this case, we could say, okay, so we have here Colette, we have here Julian, yeah. Pamela, do you have your tag as well? I can't remember, I don't know. You're on mute. You're on mute. Oh,
When I
you're
logged
mute.
onto Twitter, I was in digital communicators, so I just got out of digital communicators, and my handle is @speaks_Pamela. @speaks_Pamela.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah, because we are following digital communicators is following you and the other way around. There your name is, yeah. And Vincent, Philip, Ola, I know that Ola has yeah, Ola, you have also
OBASK.
OB, here you are, be inspired.
Yeah, be inspired. Yeah, be inspired. Yeah.
Yeah. And who else? Philip, Vincent, do you have Audrey, if you want me to share your
But
hand?
Audrey SF, I think it's 6.
Audrey SF, like
No,
this?
it doesn't appear. Yeah.
It doesn't appear, it doesn't identify, maybe.
Okay, yeah, I'll check my account again. Maybe I
Perfect,
need
don't
to
worry.
reactivate it. Yeah.
Okay, don't worry. What else? Vincent or Philip, do you have one that we can? No, Philip, don't worry, not yet, maybe. Never too late.
I just noticed. Yes, I do have one. It's called
Ah,
@Nere_Vincent. NERWE.
okay, at Neri, let's see.
NERWE.
Yeah, maybe you can, is that
I am
correct?
following you.
At Neri with capital letter, maybe, because that makes a difference sometimes. It can, well,
You're
Oh,
muted.
it was
Muted.
capital letter, I think.
Vincent, you're muted.
No, I know. I use the. Thank you, Pamela. It's Nere_Vincent. I mean,
that's
I
weird.
understand how it works. I'm sorry. I'm following you.
So you should appear here. This is why sometimes it's tricky if it's a capital letter or if it's an accent or something like that.
There's no capital letters. I mean,
No, nothing. Okay, just a sec.
NEREE_Vincent.
Oops, can you say that again, please, Colette?
_underscore after the final E, Vincent.
very good.
Yeah.
Correct. You are our representative.
Okay.
You need one.
Cool.
No.
And then I'm here as well, yeah? Okay, so now our members attending today, yeah, or something like that. Okay. What else do you think we could do or we could add?
We could
What
put
did
in
we
our
say?
Facebook. We could put in our Facebook page.
We could add our Facebook page.
A link
Yeah,
to that. Do you want me to open that up?
It's up to you, Pamela. Now we are just seeing the basics to see how we can
Okay.
how we can create a tweet. And if you want later, if you want later, we can practice and then you can post something on Facebook. That would be awesome. Yeah.
I put
Okay.
some-
Anything else? Oh, yes.
You
Pam.
can add a picture.
We can add a picture. Okay. So would you like us to have a picture of this moment?
Yes.
And because we want to be very, very nice, as I said before, yeah, look at Julian. Julian, you heard picture and you brought your smile with you, yeah? Okay, everybody then looking at the camera, smiling, ready for that lovely picture. 3, 2, 1, cheese. That's it. Oh, Ola again. Now Ola is here as well. 3, 2, 1, Cheers! That's it. Okay, so we have a lovely picture now of all of us attending, and I did a screenshot and then I added here straight away, yeah? And what we can do is we can remove things that are not really, you know, of value, but we will have, you know, our lovely faces here smiling, okay? And we have here extra spaces. We don't need that much. Okay, is there anything else that you think we could add on the tweet?
Change the font.
Change the fonts, Colette, very good. Have you opened that? Well, for those who arrived a little bit later, so I'm going to share one of my secrets for free. That's all of them. And that's something that it's a software, online software to change fonts, yeah, and to give, you know, some more life. And I'm going to show it here. So I have my digital. Okay, here it is, yeah. Okay, do you think we could highlight any word or any expression?
Maybe training.
Training. So instead of the hashtag for training, we could highlight, we can change it and use another font. Which one do you think we could use? I don't know, maybe the squared, for instance, yeah.
Do you just copy paste it?
Yes, it's copy paste, yeah. And then it gives, I'm going to put the screen bigger to make it bigger. Yeah, as you can see, wow. It gives another vivid and some other life, yeah, to the tweet. So you can use that to make those and to create those vivid and different and interesting tweets, yeah. Okay. So do you feel that we could share now this super tweet? Yeah, I will ask you to do one later. So, so there we go. So now that we have the tweet there, so we just, it's ready, shared. Okay, we can view it here. That's it. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing for now. So this is the first part and the hardest one. Yeah, we have here Pamela, who took bravely the live reporter role last meeting. So maybe Pamela, I don't know if you would like to suggest or recommend something about tweeting live, how the experience it was for you.
It was kind of fast and furious. And I think keeping track of what was going on in the meeting and then doing the pictures. And then I was also putting them into Facebook as well. And Julian was doing it at the same time. So some of the times I used his words, but it was a full-time job. I really felt like I had to keep my camera off all the time because I was focused on it, on getting that out there. But some of the pictures that I put onto Facebook were the ones that I put on Twitter, and we had such high engagement. So people were commenting. So all it took is one or two words about what the speech was about, like Kavita had sustainability. So I put sustainability, or like a call to action, something like that, just very short, but people really liked commenting on it. So Hazel and I have, she's a much better Facebook poster than I am. So I've created different posts there, and you know, we get interaction, but these faces from different people, did people like them? I mean, it was really, so I was trying, sometimes if they're talking, you don't get great pictures. So you have to try a couple times. That's part of it too.
Yeah.
But I kept trying, and people loved those images from the meeting versus the ones that we were making. I mean, they like the ones we make, but the live ones, see that one, we don't get too many responses on Facebook with that one, right? So why would that be? Well, I don't know, because it's not personalized enough. I don't know. But the other ones where I put a comment on it, then friends from the meeting could say hi. So I'm not sure if that's where you wanted me to go with it. I created a post on Digital Communicators today with a lot of different ideas. I think we're going to have to keep playing with it with our best ideas, but this is a good step. So I see you have Twitter, YouTube, and WordPress there. For all
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. So we'll talk about it.
It's a challenge to get all three of those done. And you don't have Facebook in there yet. But
Yeah,
it's a challenge to get all those different things in there. So I think almost you would need a reporter team for one meeting, two people that work together well. So one person's putting it on Facebook and one person's putting it on Twitter. Or, I mean, to get more people to do this, I think it might be a team effort, because my reporter one, I've done a lot of taping, but getting all the names correct, getting all the speech titles, and then getting all that, I was reading it and I took it at several different times. So I think that was the biggest challenge, but getting it to point where you don't have to remember all those different details and then watching your time for 2 minutes. It would be easier if you had somebody doing your time for you and then recording and then starting, because it's like I'm looking at my phone and it's just a lot of things that you can get better. So I would say maybe a reporter team, but I think it's gonna, if one person knows YouTube and one person knows Twitter and one person knows WordPress, I don't know, but I think that just doing the reporter role was really, I do a lot of social media, but doing all three of those, it was a challenge. It was a challenge. And so I think we should be gentle with ourselves when we do it. Because, you know, because I do so much social media, I expected it to be easier than it was. And I think pulling all those together is really, really good for all of us, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah,
So-
Pamela, and you took the extra challenge to add Facebook there, yeah? So you, just one recommendation, Julian, don't worry, I'm going to, just something that I shared before is that the more we prepare before, I usually have a Google Doc with the agenda. I copy everything in the agenda and I have everything, everybody's names, if the person is a DTM or, you know, the titles of the speeches, everything ready. So when you have to tweet, it's copy
Google
paste.
Doc would be
copy,
nice
paste.
because it would be, you could change the fonts easier. I was looking at a PDF file and then because I had so many windows open, I'm looking at my camera. I was using PowerPoint. Looking at PowerPoint. I recorded something for the background and then it was too many moving pictures. So I think that would be a really good idea. But I think a baby steps and being gentle with all of ourselves and working in teams might be a good way. Unless you're unless you have time, you really know social media and you have time to learn it. So I would say I spent probably 3 to 4 hours on being the reporter this week, just 3 to 4 hours. And you think you can do it in about 10 minutes. But
there's a lot there to do.
It. But it's a learning curve and it's really worth it.
Yeah, really Pamela. Oh, sorry. This is what I mentioned at the very beginning. Yeah, I said that this is an excellent role to develop many different skills. It's challenging, but it's a learning journey and where you can develop many different skills. Yeah.
You asked me to create the post on the website. So I just did that. And so I don't really feel like I don't think I've got the process totally perfect, but I outlined it as best as I could. So I can share that with you if you want me to. I just posted that and I can share what I did. And everybody can do it differently.
So Pamela, are you sharing the second part, the video and the post? Because then maybe we can move on to the next section and then you can show it then.
Okay.
Yeah, and it matches perfectly. Yeah. But Julian, please tell us. Thank you for your patience.
As a reporter, we have, it's like every other role. We can innovate. We can, as Pamela was saying, get a confederate that help us to boost the interactions when we tweet or these kind of things. Also, the good thing about Twitter is that it's immediate. That is for the live event, while Facebook is not on the moment. You have more exposure after that. So when you are on the live event, I will focus only on Twitter. Then after the event, if you want to update Facebook, that's fine. But what gets more engagement during the event is Twitter, because that's a platform built for the live events that are happening there. And that was the original idea of this role, that when you go to the next iPhone showcase, when they show to the wall iPhone WW, whatever, well, there are people that are tweeting. So we try to replicate that. Oh, I'm seeing Tim Cook with this. Oh, this is amazing. These kind of things.
Yeah, Julian.
I would say most of our people are on Facebook right now. So the Twitter will be for the external crowd right now, and other people are getting more info. Our members are seeing more of our Facebook page.
But that's fine. The idea of Twitter is to broadcast or name while it happens. And if somebody sees the Twitter feed, oh, what happened? Digital Communicator 2, 3. Every 2 Mondays, I'm receiving these tweets. What happened? I want to check out. The people or members, if of course they are on Facebook, but they are supposed to be in the meeting, not on Facebook. I mean, I know that sometimes it's not possible, and you might be for a while on Facebook and seeing it. And that's the other thing with the reporter role. If we manage to broadcast the report live, for instance, on Facebook, we can tap in what Pamela is saying. Whoever is there outside from the club or from the outside can see the event. So we don't need to tap it. So if somebody is interested, can stay there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is they want to stay. Anyway, that's, as you say, everyone that takes the role can focus in different things. And that's the beauty, that we can build different roles from the same role. And as Pamela said, and I proposed it a long time ago, that it's good to have a confederate, somebody who is boosting your performance, somebody who is maybe with a tweet or with Twitter or something like that. And as you could see, Pamela, when you were writing or tweeting, I was sending as well replies and other tweets, and also Colette was there helping. So that's what it's all
I try
about.
to do that
I
during
was
meetings.
lucky.
Then if I've got a certain role, I can't really tweet. So it's really hard to do the social media and the meeting at the same time. So,
Yes.
For that, what you did really good is to switch your camera off. It's important that you switch your camera off, because if you are doing other things, whoever is looking at your camera might get distracted. Oh, why Pamela is not listening to me? Yes, you are listening, but you are doing other things. And that goes for everybody. If you are the reporter, don't feel afraid of switching your camera off while you are doing the role.
That makes me think that we could have, I don't know, something like this, a live reporter on, yeah, something so the audience knows that you are live reporting, yeah. Okay, Julian, sorry, we have some questions from Vincent, who was very patient as well, and Colette, and we still need to go through the video and the blog. It's not that much, yeah, but still. So Vincent, share your question, please.
I was wondering, I mean, Pamela says that she was not able to participate in the meeting because she was broadcasting. And also remember that when we had table topics and shotgun evaluations, and I asked Julian to give a shotgun evaluation, she just said, I can't because he was the producer. So the question is that really productive for our club? I mean, if you have two members of 30 members, that means 8% just being occupied with just running things without being able to participate. Is that something we really want?
I think it's a benefit. It's a what do we get from it? you know, it's true. If you have one or two members off camera, it impacts the meeting. But what do we get from it? We get more exposure and that sort of thing. It's more of a long-term thinking than it is a immediate impact. So
Yes, I agree with Pamela, and I would add, Vincent, that these two roles are developing other different types of skills in the members. Yeah, so I think that it's a way of engaging and getting involved in the meeting, but in a different way, from a different perspective, of course, and you learn many other things. So that's my opinion. Yeah, Colette.
Pamela, I'd just like to know, did you enjoy it? When you'd finished it, did you say, you know, it was hard, but I really did enjoy it? Or was it really stressful?
both. I think getting the pictures of people and so that nobody would be mad at me. It's like they're talking like this, and then I don't want anyone mad at me when I'm doing it. So I take a picture. Oh, I got one. Then I put it on there, and then Julian's putting a picture of me on there. And I'm like, there's so much going on at one time that I feel like a robot. But when I was done and I had put all those, I guess it's like I have preference to post Facebook because I know the people that are posting, versus if it's Twitter, those are like more external. So a girlfriend of mine asked me the difference between Facebook and Twitter. And I said, well, if you think about Twitter, you go to the mall and then you take a megaphone and then you speak to everyone at the mall, right? But if you're on Facebook, you're talking at a family reunion or a high school reunion, and you're speaking to your friends and family, right? So they're both valuable. They're both valuable. One is you're getting people that are in the area and care about those things that you don't have relationships with. And the other one, we have networks with those people on Facebook, and they're mostly Toastmaster relationships. So it's Toastmaster to Toastmaster, Toastmaster to Toastmaster. I bet we don't get a lot of new people coming to our Facebook page. They're usually Toastmasters in multiple clubs, which is not good or bad. It just is, right? So Julian's perspective is that of a digital communicator versus a Toastmaster. So we're reaching other people that care about online webinars and meetings. So I think it's really good. We really haven't gotten to LinkedIn yet. So I think LinkedIn has a whole different perspective. I've posted on there a little bit. I've joined meetings. So I really almost need, as we're doing the PR, I almost need someone on each social media that, like, while Julian's posting and while the live reporter is posting, we also have people that like Twitter, or people that like Facebook, and like people that like LinkedIn. And I started Instagram too. And I'm working on how that would look, because it's more picture based than letters. But we almost need people that are comfortable in those things, because if we ask for someone to be comfortable in everything, they probably won't happen. But I agree, this reporter role is going to push our boundaries of what we're comfortable with, isn't it?
Yeah. As I remember, I can remember who I talked to in the first training we had for the live reporting, and I also recommended to share. Yeah, if you feel that this is too much, it's like, okay, so get in a team, 2 or 3 people. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to prepare the text, and then, just send me the picture, something like that. Yeah, so you have different people focusing on different aspects at the same time. That could be an option. Or you say, well, I'm going to do
with the Google document. So if one person takes the agenda and makes the hashtags with the agenda, and then then those can come together. One person has the Twitter account, and then, because you're almost thinking like a photographer, and you're almost thinking, and then you're also texting, writing things. And so.
Yeah, many different skills involved. It's challenging, but as I said, it's a great learning opportunity, and we don't have to be perfect. Yeah,
my first Toastmaster club said that Toastmasters is a lab, L-A-B. We get to try new things. We get to try new things, and nobody's going to get hurt if you tweet or text the wrong thing. It's just, we just keep trying, right? They might get upset if you put the wrong picture of them on Twitter, but
Yeah, but we can always delete the tweet.
We can
Yeah,
delete-
we can always delete wherever it is. Yeah, and we'll try to do that. And we'll also be mindful about it. Well, if you don't mind, shall I move on to the next section, to step number 2 and number 3? Yeah, and maybe we can continue. And then if we have any other questions about what's coming, we can go for it. Yeah. Okay. So the first task is, we've been talking about live coverage on Twitter. The second one is the video report, yeah? And that usually happens after the meeting because we have enough during the meeting, okay? So what's the goal, yeah, of this video report? Julian, please feel free if you feel that we need to add something else. So the idea is that we can report what we've seen during the meeting and the highlights, let's say, and to do a video analysis, to get in a little bit, yeah, of analysis, not that much because it's just a very, very short video. Ideally, it should last 2 minutes. I can tell you from the videos that I have seen so far, they usually last between 3-4 minutes, but ideally it should be a 2-minute video, okay? Now, how about the video recording? We can record our videos in whichever platform we want. That's free, whichever platform you feel more comfortable with. Yeah, and any software that you also feel comfortable with. And I'm going to share some examples here. For instance, Adrian just didn't use anything, just herself, the power of her expression, yeah? And I remember in this case, Julian, at the very beginning, many years ago, he used also himself, no other software, yeah? But then we had here Azra using a video filter from Zoom. Simple, a video filter in Zoom, yeah? Then we had here Antonia using OBS. Myself here using Prezi Video. And we have here Pamela using surprises. Pamela, what did you use?
I use PowerPoint. And what I did is I copied and pasted to PowerPoint, copied and pasted the slides in PowerPoint. So that little image was what I pasted on there. And then what I did is I made a movie of it, but the movie was going way too fast. So then I only used, I couldn't keep up with the movie it's easier to use slides as a background, change your background when you're coming to different things. So then you're not going at such a rapid pace or trying to find the names. So I think if I would have, while I was making the recording, if I would have had the Google Doc open with my hashtags and my names really big of all the speakers and the topics, then I wouldn't be like thinking about so many things. But I was trying to make it really snazzy. And I think that was, Colette, that's the biggest challenge, doing the PowerPoint and then doing the pictures in the PowerPoint. And I was trying to make it really, really smooth. But I think baby steps are probably the best solution here. Make it simple. I saw the ones that the other people did with just a picture of themselves, maybe with their phone.
Yeah. Well, Pamela, I hope that this screenshot was a good one. Yeah, I tried to.
Yes, it was. It's nice.
Julian.
I came out, my eye contact was off and stuff like that. But I really like the person who sat back and just spoke. That was a really nice.
Julian, yeah.
One thing I would say is do not feel afraid to take your camera, your phone, and record yourself on the camera. It's fine. It's the first video. I mean, it is true that some people want to, push themselves. That's fine. But if you have never done it before, don't be afraid to go with your camera and see what happens. At the end of the day, it's what you say. The rest helps the message.
Thank you, Julian. This is why I wanted to share all the different possibilities that each person has used so far, yeah? And everything is valid. It's just how you feel comfortable with and you're used to. Yeah, Vincent, for example, we use probably OBS, yeah? For instance, maybe. But everything works. Yeah, just feel comfortable and challenge yourself as much or as you want. That's what I would say. Yes, Vincent, will you enlighten us soon with your OBS live reporting?
I'm not so sure. I appreciate the invitation. I really do. I feel outside of my comfort zone. And when Pamela tells me, and I really appreciate her honesty, that she dedicated 3 to 4 hours to producing all this and skipping the meeting because she had to concentrate on other things. I think I just hold back, to be honest.
Well,
Perhaps selfish. I mean, maybe I should be more forthcoming. But I mean, I'd like to listen to somebody else's speeches sometimes, even if you have a role and you are, say, the grammarian, you concentrate very much on the use of language. You hardly have the possibility to listen to the overall picture. And therefore, I think I enjoyed listening to the overall picture. So therefore, after spend 4 hours in just taking pictures, I would be outside of my waters.
well, Vincent, the cool thing is that you have to be active listening. So listening to the speeches and then taking notes and pictures.
Oh, I'm an old man.
It would be really great if you were on a team. I think it would be really great if you were on the team. I know that you would do a lot of the prep work would be great.
Yeah.
And then you could film yourself. So if you were a little overwhelmed with taking the pictures and tweeting at the same time, I think we could find somebody that could do that. You don't have to worry. You could just say, these are the pieces I can do. That's my recommendation. Because I think you could have a really nice 2-minute video that put up, and I didn't really like my video, but I bet you would have a nice 2-minute video that we could put up on YouTube.
Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate your confidence in this man in Spain.
Okay, well, let me continue and just finish with this section of the video report. Yeah. So at the end, as it was mentioned now, so what we have to do is to upload the video in the Digital Communicators channel. I don't know, Julian, what the guidelines are or instructions are for this, yeah, because sometimes what we started doing was I sent my video to Julian and Julian uploaded it. But then what we did was he gave me permission on YouTube so I could upload it and do it myself. So we become more independent and autonomous on the whole process. That's the idea, but
the idea is if you are the reporter, you should be given access to upload the video. And if you don't have access, ask for it. So who is the next reporter? Do we know?
not yet. We don't know. Maybe someone.
I know who it's going to be. It's going to be Vincent.
We should volunteer Vincent.
I already have.
And then give him a tweeter, and then give him a tweeting friend.
For a long period, I've put my roles until late September.
Okay, don't worry, Vincent. You can just find a team for that. Don't worry, yeah?
I'm happy to participate in a team.
Audrey, how do you feel about this?
Not confident at all. Well, I can do the tweeting thing, but doing videos, I'm not really comfortable yet. Because the editing part, like I can do for videos like
It's nice that you
without any that's where like the one like the first one like without any like just me like that, but I'm not really at ease yet to use any software to add Prezi and to add yeah.
Don't worry, you will get good at this. Start with a simple thing, preparing the video as you are speaking now in front of the camera. That's good enough. The second time, now that you know how it works, you can try the next step, making it a bit more complicated.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what Julian's baby told us. Just take it easy, baby steps, baby steps. Look at Colette, she's going to live reporting today. Woo! Super, Colette. That's what I mentioned about.
Audrey, sorry, Mar. Audrey, that's in the video filter section. I think you'd be very good at it, Audrey, actually. And
Yeah.
look, Pamela has some as well. So you can just use this and deliver your report as you are now. I think you'd look great on a TV screen.
Video
Audrey.
section with the video section on what? On Zoom?
No,
Yeah, on Zoom.
Okay, so you know where, sorry, you go ahead, Mar, and you explain to Audrey
No,
where
go
this
for
is.
it, Colette.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
you know where it
Yeah.
is video on your screen there on the left-hand side? So the arrow pointing up. So choose video filter. And then you can see some video filter pictures there, and just click on one and it will go onto your screen.
We should do more video filters. They're very fun, aren't they?
They are great fun. Now, yes.
Look at Audrey.
Oh,
Very
okay,
good.
I found it.
There you go.
Okay.
That's it. So this is what Ashra did. For example, she delivered her live reporting using this video filter and recording herself here. That's it.
And when you record yourself on Zoom itself, okay.
Yeah, it's like creating, you record yourself there and you are creating your own video on Zoom. Simply, that's it. You download it and you have it ready. And as Pamela told me today, like, Mar, but I repeated the video so many times. Pamela, I have repeated the video so many times as well. And there's a moment that I say, okay, enough here. It's 11 at night, da, da, da. No. Digital well-being, time to go to rest.
Yeah, I had to step away after a while. I had to step away. So
Okay, look at Philip as well. Woo! I can see some live reporters here coming soon. Coming soon. Okay, so shall we, any other questions about the video? Yeah. In the end, so what we do is we upload the video on YouTube and we create a short post on our digital communicators blog in WordPress, or as some people have done as well, is they write the long post and then they add the video there. Yeah, that's another option. Okay. And we'll
Is
see
there
now.
a deadline to post the videos and the blog?
Pardon, Audrey, can you ask again?
Is there a deadline to post it, the video and the blog?
Not really. Ideally, at the beginning, I was told, Mar, just right after the meeting, you have to upload that video. But then when I started working on it, preparing it, recording it many times, it takes a few hours before you can deliver it. Yeah, it can be on the same day, but it can be on the following day. Or, I mean, let's take it easy. In the end, it's about practicing and being comfortable about what we are doing and just doing it and sharing it. So just feeling like, okay, this is the one I wanted to deliver. And if possibly as well, during that week, the idea is to share the blog post, yeah, that I'm gonna talk about now. Well, this is about our Digital Communicators YouTube account, and the video report is over. So maybe I can mention something. Yeah, we have WordPress for our website. That's it. Now I'm going to tell about it. Okay. So what about WordPress? Our website, Digital Communicators website, is created using WordPress. Yeah, it could be another type of software, but it's just this one. Okay. Then what can I tell you about the blog post? Well, the goal for this post is to get and to do a deeper analysis of the meeting with food for thought for the club. Yeah, so we are not only telling what happened, but also if we can recommend something, if we think and we want to get deeper into something, just give your voice, like commendations and recommendations. Yeah, for example, in the last post I did that I thought that I had already posted, but I had to post it today. Actually, I was like, oh, I have the draft, but not. In that one, as a live reporter, I already realized that there was something that I could do better. And I said, okay, as a live reporter, I've mentioned everyone, because my idea is to give visibility and to acknowledge everyone's work. But then I realized that I hadn't mentioned anything about our producer or about our greeter. And I was like, hey, but the producer and the greeter have their own, their weight also as some roles in the club. So I was even, thinking about my job and my work to say, hey, just remember next time to acknowledge everyone in the club, yeah, because every role is meaningful and important, yeah. So that's about this deeper analysis, okay? Then what are blog essentials? We just need access to WordPress, I would say, yeah.
I
Maybe
think
Julian, you can make.
we need to go over that in more detail because I do WordPress and it's still with the blocks and things like that. It's a little bit challenging.
Okay.
Unless you know of a certain template that they can just put the text into.
Okay, so this could be another training, I would say, but at least just briefly, yeah? So once you are into the platform, and we'll go there, there's a section that says posts, add new. So this is where we should go to create a new post. Just my question is, maybe Julian, you can help us with that, is that if everybody from their accounts in WordPress have access to create a blog, or if they have to give to, if we need to give permission or administration. Okay.
Right, nice.
Again, we need to get in touch with Nick this time and ask him for permission. I think other people can give permission as well, but I don't know who they are. So I know that Nick can give permission.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I was given powers, to give permission to give admin. No, I don't think so. Okay, because I can create blog posts now on my own, so I don't have to tell Julian or Nick, hey, can you post this for me? But I can do it on my own, as I have taken this role several times. But yeah, we need to sort this out and see how we can do it. Yeah. In any case, oh, Julian. Go.
Sorry. The idea is that you, as a reporter, can do everything. You don't depend on anybody to do your role, because this is, well, doing a blog post is not something that many people have done. So it's the way to learn how to, be exposed to the website and how to write the blog.
Yeah. And for that, maybe I can show, yeah, let me see if I have something else to show you. Well, just to publish the post, yeah, and share it with the club to say, hey, this is because we want people to see, for them to read, what you've posted. And that's actually it, yeah. So maybe what I can do is to share my screen with the Digital Communicators website. And then maybe, whoops, where is it? Here, okay?
That's
Can
what I
you see
just did just before
Yes.
this.
Okay, so then block, this is here. So live reporter role. Yeah, Pamela?
So those are the tips that I thought about. I think that it's not its final version, but as people go through it, we can talk about it. Because I think you need to think about it before the meeting, during the meeting, after the meeting, and then creating the blog. And then the hashtags need to be in there. I think when you sent me to the WhatsApp group for the reporter, we basically have 3 YouTube links, and there's a lot of information in those YouTube links. I think it's easier for me to see a list of steps, and then I can organize it better than if it comes from.
Yeah, Pamela, thank you for sharing that, because Colette created something for the roles in the club. Yes, Colette, as VP of Education, and she shared it with me, and we are adding more things onto the live reporter and the producer role and other roles that are specific for our club. So we are creating the material. Colette, I don't know if you want to share something about it, about this doc, even if it's for new members. I think you told me, but maybe if we can develop those.
Absolutely, Mar, I think, and that looks like really a good post, Pamela, that
I
you
think
did
that we
there.
need to go over it though, Colette. I don't think it's in its final form.
Okay,
So after somebody does the reporter role, they can see what I missed or what I need to, talk about a little bit more, but it gets your mind around it. And then that's 3 different posts. I put a block in there with 3 different pictures in there. So if you go to that, yeah, those are reporters.
Okay, cool.
You can even do more of those posts if you want to do it on live reporters and stuff, but I
Cool.
think it
So-
might be a good idea to do different how-tos on the different softwares even, or the different social media things, and it may be helpful for everybody.
That's really interesting. So thank you, Pamela, for adding to our to our task, so we can use that's going to be really helpful, and we can put it together, PR, BPE, tech, all together, and make something, the how-tos. I like the idea of the how-tos, yeah. Otherwise, well, here, for example, this is the last post about the previous meeting, yeah. And in this case, as I said, trying to acknowledge everyone's just sharing insights, pictures, quotes, even adding ifs, that's extra, yeah. And then at the end, for instance, I shared some recommendations, and this is from the post I did. This is the short live report, of course. And then you can have here different examples. Yeah, Antonia, for example, had a different style, but she explained every section. And then she also shared, some food for thought for all of us, yeah. So this is something that you can have a look at calmly to see the different styles and to see where you feel more comfortable with, yeah. So ideally, I don't know then if it's worthy. Julian, what do you think? Is it worthy then to share how to create a blog post or not? Or we just leave it here because we are just over time? And
I think for today it's too much information.
okay,
The main thing is Twitter and the video, and then writing a blog post is to write a document, and then we can explain how to upload it. That's not the end of the world. From what you have seen today, is there any question, any thing that you would like to say? Audrey, yeah.
Yes, you shared the goals and the aim, but is there any format? Because I understand that we all have different style, but if we all have different technique and style, there won't be any consistency, right?
You're right. You're right. That can be an issue, but we are rolling this out. So let's focus and get the experience, the skills, and then when we all are at some level, a certain level, we can start giving some guidance, no? How we like to do it, these kind of things, how we should do it. One thing, for instance, Rinku, when she uses Twitter, she always signs up. The last 2 words is Rinku Saha. And I think that is really nice because you know who is tweeting. I don't do it. It's fine. So as you feel.
Okay.
yeah. And as for the blog, Audrey, I would say just capture the highlights. So that's the information you had for the video report. You can take it and type it, let's say. And apart from that, just reflection, food for thought. Okay, so this is what we saw, but what if we had done this? Or maybe if Mar hadn't spoken so much and hubiera pasado 3 pueblos, then maybe, we would have more time for the rest. And this is something that we can say and we can type it there, and that's important because it's also a way of giving our opinion on good things and things that we can improve as a club, and that's important. Colette,
Just one question, Mara. Going back to putting photographs on Twitter, are you talking about doing them on your phone, doing that part of it on your phone, because you're taking a screenshot and then sharing it on Twitter? Because you're sharing the screen with us, the Twitter. I have Twitter on my laptop, but I have it on my phone as well. But I'd have to do it on my phone, wouldn't I, to get the photographs?
Now there's Can you get your finger, this finger? Is it the index finger? Okay. Can you go to the keyboard and look
Yes.
for the print, screen print or something like that? There should be on the
Yes,
first line, there should be a key that says print screen or,
yes.
yeah?
You usually
Okay,
have to use two keys to do that. I have to use, and it's like, mine is blue, and then I have another blue, the FN or the control or something, and then you
okay.
And
There are
that, and
different
that,
ways.
and that takes a photograph, does it?
Yep.
Yeah, the
Oh,
screen.
brilliant. Oh, thank you. Learn something
then-
every day. Thank you.
That's it. With one finger, you can imagine. Okay, what other questions do you have for anything else?
You know, I put in the post in the chat later early on. How many of our members are using Twitter?
Honestly, Vincent, I don't know, but now that you say that and mentioning it, maybe it would be interesting for us to keep a record of members on Twitter, members on Facebook. Yeah, Pamela, what do you think? Maybe that could be something that we could manage in
I
the,
think that's a really good point, and that's what I was saying about posting and live coverage on Twitter. We're reaching outside of our circle. When we do it on Facebook, we're reaching inside of our circle. So Julian's perspective is this is what's done in the industry, is to tweet and post on Twitter. So we're getting experience with that media, and I think everybody's pretty comfortable with Facebook, probably. So I don't think the people that when I've tweeted with digital communicators on Twitter, I don't see much action other than the times of the meetings. So if we were going to have more interaction, we would have to have more friends. We would have to have things to talk about with our friends, right? Because on Facebook, we know each other, we have those relationships, but people will gravitate to what they're most comfortable with, and Facebook is probably where they have all their friends and family. So you raise a good point on how we can get more interaction on Twitter. I think that is Julian. I know Julian's whiz bang about technology and Twitter. So
yeah, me too, but go Julian, go.
No, I will say one, Twitter is consistency. What happened with the DC account is that we only use it twice a month. That is when we have the meeting. And therefore is what we don't have anything going on during days. What I always suggest is when you are the reporter that week, start getting used from time to time, send a tweet. Oh, Julian Cerceda will be the reporter for today. I'm excited to do this. I've never touched a Twitter. Please let me know. These kind of things. Because once you are building, tweeting more, your tweets are seen more. And then when it's the live event, the algorithm works in that way that boom, goes. Somebody who did a really good job when he did the role was Ola. Ola, I think, got the record. After this, we can check analytics of Twitter analytics and see who had the biggest impact. And he was way above everyone. That was in part because he was, all the tweets he was doing, he was addressing it to people, putting at Vincent, at Colette, and he would put 9 people, shameless.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe that's a way. I don't know the answer for that. I'm very new to Twitter, and that's why I thought this could be a good platform to experiment and to learn for when we need it, if we ever need it.
I've done Twitter in the past, and I did a lot of tweeting in the past. And I find that you have to be in communities, and then people like what you say, and then they have to tweet back, and then it's more of an interaction. And so the communities that I've been in were mostly education and then fitness. And there's not as much fitness on Twitter as there are on Instagram or possibly Facebook. So What we would need to do to get more interaction on Twitter as well as LinkedIn is to have more communities of people who do digital speaking, right? So we need someone to research that. What communities and what hashtags. I tried doing it with fitness for quite a bit, for a long time, and I couldn't. So what I found is that they're posting on Instagram, and then they're posting the Instagram tweet on Twitter. So it's not the first place they go to. But there's communities of runners where if I post a run, then that can go directly to Twitter, and those people know each other. Like I was on Runkeeper for years. So I have a community, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 people that I've been following for probably 6 years that I've never met. They live on different parts of the world. And that's what we need to do. We have to have relationships like that about digital communications. So I don't know the answer to that. And I think it's going to be a process to get to know those groups of people.
Yes, Pamela, I wanted to add, I've been on Twitter for many years already. On the educational, it's very popular in the educational field, I have to say, yeah. But then something that I realized, and something that I've tried to do as well as a live reporter, is to start following other Toastmasters clubs. Because Twitter gives you here some recommendations. And then I think it's interesting to follow other Toastmasters clubs, because then they see that we are a Toastmasters club and they start following us, and some people that are connected to that club also sees, they see our platform or our club, and they start following and liking our tweets. So that's something that we could, if every live reporter, or I don't know if it has live reporter or VPR team, I don't know who exactly, we can talk about that. But if we start following other Toastmasters clubs, we're going to build that community of Toastmasters, like on Facebook. I know that on Facebook, there are many Toastmaster communities, even Toastmasters International. So maybe that can also help us to make us visible. Yes, Julia.
So Hazel puts out so many beautiful Facebook posts, and the one that got the most interaction in the last few weeks was the tweet that I did about the visitor, because he responded to it and then his friend responded to it, and then there was a lot of different likes. So
that's it.
I mean, you really don't know. We just have to keep trying, don't we?
If he's a guest in the meeting, I think we have to ask him if he has any account and he's happy if we address him. And if he says yes, go ahead. Say, look, we have, because it's as well, oh, these people from Digital Communicators are saying something nice about me. Okay, I'm gonna like it. And when they like it, then we share it with his community, with their followers.
We can ask for hashtags. We can even ask for Twitter hashtags at the beginning of the meeting to put into the chat, and then the reporter can grab those. And then that would probably be the best way, the quickest way to get our communication with different people. Because he's a huge Toastmaster. He's a huge Toastmaster, so he was communicating with other people. But I have to go pretty soon. But it was very informative, Mar. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you all
We
for
have our
attending.
work cut out for us, don't we? It's going to be a process to learn all this, how to market and teach technology to all of us, and I know that everybody can use this in their own personal lives for different businesses and things.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's been very informative and really
Thank
fun.
you, Pamela, for bringing also all your knowledge and from the VPR perspective as well. I think that was important to have put all the pieces together. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Philip,
Bye.
Philip,
Okay.
Philip, you wanted to say something before.
Yeah.
No, great. I have to rely on you sending the link for me to go over it. I was lost halfway through. I have to work on it.
Philip, something that I strongly recommend, yeah, just bit by bit. So if one day, yeah, let's say that in the next meeting, you talk to Colette and Julian and me, and we say, okay, so Philip is going to be in charge of Twitter together with Colette, and maybe Philip is going to be taking notes, and Colette is going to be using this finger for the screenshots. Yeah, for example, that could be an option. And I think that it's important to see how we can challenge ourselves, but step by step. Yeah, if you see that it's super overwhelming to do the 3 things, for me it was challenging. So I have to say, and I'm a bit techy, yeah, but I really like doing these things because they push me beyond my comfort zone. And I can tell you, it was many, even more than 3 and 4 hours the first time I took this role. But of course, I did everything. If we split it in small units and we create a live reporter team, maybe that's going to be easier.
Yes.
And little by little, everyone can fit, and find their place in, today tweeting. And next day, I'm going to create the video, only the video report. That's it, the 2 minutes video. I'm going to do only that, yeah? And maybe we can see how we can do that in WordPress, in our digital communicators website, to have different people on the live reporting. Could we have that, Julia, maybe, to have a team there?
Yeah, I mean, yes, we can change the agenda. We can do many things. It's only to ask, what do we want to do? And that's what we do. The idea, I would say, Philip, if you've never done something, try it. One thing, the video, for instance. I would say that the video is the easiest thing to. Yes, you have already a camera, no? You only need to record yourself 2 minutes, and then.
Look, if you wanted to take on the live reporter role for the next meeting, I could do the tweeting for you, and you could just watch the meeting and record your live report the next day. Just to
Me?
No.
No.
Oh,
Not
well,
next meeting, no.
Well,
No, not next meeting.
Philip, did you say not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet, not yet.
Okay, that makes a difference.
We'll work
Not
on
yet. Not yet.
The good thing is that Philip is already here, so that means that he's thinking about it. He's saying,
Yes.
I have to do this.
He told me, Julia, and this is why I was very happy, because when I opened the room in Zoom, he was the first one to be here.
That's, yeah.
So he's
Punctuality,
very
I
interested.
like to be punctual. Yes.
The only thing, sorry, that we have not thought, the club has not very well thought about this, is how are we giving the report to the reporter, the feedback to the reporter? Because everybody receives a feedback, but the reporter, who is one of the people who works the most during the meeting and before the meeting and after the meeting, nobody tells anything to him or to her. So maybe we should do or try to think a way where we pass our general feedback to him.
I have a suggestion for that, yeah. And I actually, one of the posts that I shared, I typed and I said explicitly, please, yes, feel free to make comments below, yeah, in our, so this could be a possibility, yeah, I'm going to share here. In our webpage, there's the possibility, I'm going to share screen better this time. There's the possibility to add and make comments from our, yeah, so for example, this is live reporter role from Pamela. So you can read it here, and what can you do? I leave a reply. So I'm going to log in. Yeah, I'm going to log in as da-da-da. Let me see if I get it right. First time. Wait. Hello. Yeah. That's it. And I can make a comment here.
But the comment will never be a feedback. I will not dare to put in public what, for instance, I have to say about this blog post. One of the things I noticed straight away is that the hashtags are wrong.
Yes.
So, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's good me to write, oh, really nice report, but the hashtags are incorrect.
Yeah.
No, I can say the good things. The good things, no problem to share them with all the world. But these things, because it's particularly for her, I don't feel comfortable
Comfortable.
making it public to everybody.
Okay, I understand, Julian. Yeah. So we need to think then.
For the members of the club, I have no problem to say this, what I have said, because I mean, we are all part of the same community, but this is as well for other people outside the club that they don't know me, they don't know her, they don't know much about the club, and it can be misinterpreted. You say, who is this guy? Why he says all these kind of things?
Yeah.
And do we need a live reporter evaluator then?
No, but then we have to send a comment individually on WhatsApp. to the
Yeah.
live reporter. That's it.
It could be a
Yeah, that's me personally.
Yeah. But I think
But
it's important, yeah, because when we share it on our WhatsApp group, for instance, people go like, oh yeah, you've done a great job. Yeah, but you just get that and you don't get real feedback. The commendations, the specific commendations are recommendations, yeah. So that would be interesting to think of.
Well,
point.
live reporters always blow me away. So everything is fantastic. Don't worry, I'll get there.
Okay.
Okay, guys, I need to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anything
Okay.
else?
Thank you so much,
No?
Mark.
Thank
Yeah,
Thank
you so much.
It was very
Mark.
informative.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Actually,
Bye-bye.
Yes.
bye.
Bye.
So I